Early access for this video was provided by EA. Hi, I'm Frimlin and welcome to my hopefully quite neutral review of the build and buy items that came along in the My First Pet stuff pack. So I intend to be as neutral as possible in this build buy review. I have just had some really bad news about my birth grandfather, as people on Twitter will know, so my mood is pretty low right now, but I'm going to try to not let that affect me for this build and buy review. The My First stuff pack has 35 items, and if you want to know how that compares with other stuff packs, have a look at this little graphic. So this is the total number of items that you can see in-game, build buy items that is. Doesn't include a few things like wall coverings and floor coverings, and I haven't exactly researched it to get the exact number. I've just used the number that you can see in-game. So yeah, as you can see, it doesn't really compare too badly with the other packs. It has a focus on interior items. A lot of the objects that come with the pack are just for pets, like a pet bowl and a container for pet toys, things like that. So those things are never going to be very useful for you if you don't have Cats and Dogs expansion pack. But if you don't have Cats and Dogs expansion pack, you might not be the kind of pet fanatic that this pack was made for. So welcome to my little showcase room that I've made. Let's start with the first item on the list, the Rise and Shine Sleepy Bed. So it comes in a range of different colours. So how do I feel about this item? I think that I would like to have something a lot more plain. I know that, you know, probably this pack wasn't made for someone like me. I like more traditional styles and, you know, more standard kind of colouring. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I like the bright colours, and genuinely I like, you know, bright clothes, for example. But I'm not as keen on bright furniture. There's a few colour options that I would use here, like maybe one or two, to be fair. Anyway, let's place that down over here, and let's move on to the next item. So we have, what's it called? The Barbarian's Bed, and it's a much larger pet bed. Now this one I don't mind as much. It has more earthy colours, these browns and blacks and whites. I don't object to quite as much. There's this pink kind of rainbow one that obviously is, you know, probably not, again, not the intended recipient for this colour option, but it would be good in a kid's room, for example, so, you know, I don't judge it. I think it's quite cool. Similar to this in a way, but in a different way, you know, different, less colourful way. But this one I particularly like. This one I like too, and I probably would use them, you know, because they're a bit of fun without being a bit too much fun, if you can see what I mean. Okay, so what do we have here? We have the Hampton's chair, 200 simoleons. Now this one, I actually quite like it. It's definitely going to be cool for kids' rooms in particular, but not necessarily. I mean, some of the more plainer options, I could just imagine placing them in a more serious room, you know, perhaps with adults in mind, and it would just be a nice little playful addition. But yeah, it's a nice little chair, and I don't particularly mind it. Right, what's next? We have a Naya desk chair. It's 100 simoleons, and okay, so what do I think about this? It's pretty plain. It's, the colours at least are solid in most cases. Some of them are, in some colour options there are two colours, which is fine. This, I think probably all the colours are usable for me, in my personal building style, and it would be particularly good for kids' rooms, but not necessarily. I mean, I just think it has a nice modern shape to it, but it's not ultra modern, so it could even go into some traditional builds. Overall, not bad. So here we have a Snuggle Seat for 400 simoleons, which is a bit on the pricey side for what it is. Considering I like restricted budget builds, You know, it'd be something I would place in, you know, bigger, more expensive builds, but probably not in a starter home. Although wouldn't necessarily be impossible. It goes into the bay window recess, and some of the colours I particularly like. Actually, no, I think I like most of the colours. I'm not a big fan of the paw prints and the animal prints, but to be honest, there's only like one or two of those, and they're not too bad, and they particularly go well in a place that was made for a cat or dog lover. What would be my favourite one? I don't know. This one's quite nice. Don't really like that one. Purple. It's a bit. I'm not sure. I love purple as a colour, but this mix, not so sure. This one's. I'm on the edge of this one. I don't know if I like it or not. This one's alright. This one. Oh, no, I'm just skipping past them. Sorry. This one, paw print one. Not paw print. It's an animal print. It's not bad. This one, not really feeling it, but it might go well in the right room, Same with that one. But this one, I'm skipping past them again. So this one, I think, is okay. This one, I know is going to go into mini builds because it's black and grey. It just happens that fits into so many builds, or every build. You can always, unless it's a really colourful build and you don't want to put black into it. But that's going to work quite a lot, and I'll probably use that quite a bit. The red one also quite like. And this brown one is neutral enough that it is probably going to go into quite a few builds as well. Anyway, I think I've gone through them all now. So let's just leave that there and look at this, the Puppy Love seat, which is the same price, 400 simoleons. And I think it has a similar range of colours. And I'm saying that without actually directly comparing them, but just from memory it seems to match quite well with what I remember of the last colours. Look at that, that's quite fun, isn't it? That one, I've used it in this vet clinic that I've just made, and it suits it there, but I don't think I'd place it anywhere else. Favourite one? It's not the black one. I mean, the black one I will use a lot, so I'm going to try not to say that's my favourite. This is quite neutral. It's nice. It actually reminds me of the sofas in my room, in my apartment. I don't know which is my favourite. I actually quite like that pink one. Where is it? This one, greys with a bit of pink. It's quite nice. It's neutral enough, but with a little splash of colour. And if that's the colour that your accent colour for that room, it could be quite nice to pick this out. I can just imagine it. But this one's also quite fun. I quite like it. Anyway, let's place that there and move on. So what do we have here? We have the Tap Table Mini Backer Kit. 150 simoleons. It's basically a small table. I guess it's a bedside table kind of thing. And it comes in a range of colours. There all seems to be solid colours, no double colours. And it's a respectable range. There's a few shades of grey which I like. There's a black, there's a brown. How many browns are there? There's a light brown, kind of almost a I don't know how to describe that brown, but it's more medium, a darker brown, and there's like an orangey, almost brown there. Well, it's an orange. It's an orange Frimlin, and a range of different colours, including, of course, white and black. Yeah, it's good. It's a very standard table. It's nothing to write home about. It's fine. So what do you have here? It's a tap table. It's 200 simoleons, and this is basically what I'm calling the pet bowl or aquarium coffee table. And I like coffee tables in general. I like this one specifically. It's neutral enough. It doesn't have too many colours in it. On the outside and the kind of what would you call it? lining, no. The exterior wooden part is plain enough that it will go quite well into lots of builds. You know, sometimes some furniture has so many different colours in it that it can be hard to place in a build. But this one is quite good, and I'm not exactly sure how it works, as in I don't know. I think I saw in the trailer that cats can look down at it and stuff like that. They see the fish in it, but yeah, I think it's alright. Probably one of the objects I like the most off the pack, even though I'm not really, you know, showing it in my expressions. Here we have the Pawsome desk. It's 300 simoleons. It's basically what I would call a kid's desk, but I like that we have another option for a small desk, because sometimes it can be hard to fit in a bigger desk, but it's not really going to go into an adult's build or an adult room, in my opinion. You know, I don't usually build for adults that have that quirkier nature. The plainer ones might just get it into like a dog or cat lover's apartment, but the paw prints, the colourful paw prints on the side probably would hold me back using it all that often. But yeah, definitely kids, and I think it would be good for that, and I would use it a lot for that. So yeah, let's just stick that over here. What do we have here? The Chow Down litter box, and now I heard Graham explaining this, Simguru Graham explaining this in the live stream, and you know, I'm not really going to talk about this because I think it's a bit gross. Hang on, how much was it? It's 75 simoleons. It has a few plain colour options which I like. These ones, the more colourful ones, not as keen on. I don't know where it compares to the other litter boxes, as in, is it going to automatically get rid of the stuff that is left inside, like some of the litter boxes do? Because if it isn't, I'm probably not going to use it unless it's going to be like a really cheap build. And if there is a cheaper version that's not an automatic cleaner, then I would probably use that in restricted budget builds rather than this, because I basically go for the cheapest options I can. You know, trying to provide as much functionality in a house as I can without cutting into the budget. But yeah, it's fun and definitely good for cat and dog lovers. So I'm going to skip the rodents for now, and we'll look at them in a bit. I just want to go through the rest of the items to start with. So we have the Woof box, or Morale box, and it's 150 simoleons, and it's basically a toy container, and it's okay. It follows the theme of the pack. It's got this kind of cat and dog vibe, of course, because it's intended for cats and dogs. But that means I probably wouldn't use it as much. I mean, some of them are okay, but yeah, it's bordering on a bit too fun of an object for me. You know, I like things to be a bit more traditional. So we have a nice big wall over here with lots of space to put things on. This is by far my favourite of the wall. Well, I don't know. There's a couple of them, but I quite like this one. I'm going to place quite a few of them. If I can just remember to place them properly. So, what do I think of this? I think that the whole measuring chart thing isn't necessary. I mean, it could have been done without that. I think all of these would have looked great if they didn't have the measuring thing at the side. But because it's there, doesn't mean that I wouldn't use it. I still think it's really fun, and I like it generally. I'll be back to the start. So about 9 different options there, and I think they're all cool, and they definitely all work in kids' rooms and elsewhere as well. Some of them, like this one for example, is a bit more neutral than that one. And then depending on if you're building for a cat lover or a dog lover, you know, you might want to use them outside of the kids' room, some of the other ones. And this is great for bear lovers. We know a few of those. And this might be good for someone who's more kind of logical sim, a kind of sciencey kind of sim. And yeah, if you're going for the whole marine vibe, this might help further accentuate that vibe. So yeah, I like this wall covering in general. We also have a new mirror. So this is the Sky Cat mirror, and it's 150 simoleons, and it comes in a range of colours. What do I think about it? I think it's a bit small, actually. It seems quite small. I can just imagine trying to peer into it if it was real, and thinking that it's too small to look into. So I wish it was a bit bigger, and you can't really, you can't size up mirrors. It just doesn't work. So we're stuck with it being small, but it's not too bad, and it would be good for, like, if you had a big enough house that you had a bathroom just for kids, that would work. It could also go just in a normal kids room, if they were like a cat or dog lover. But yeah, I don't know, I'm not gonna get too enthused about that mirror actually, but it's not bad. And then we have the Pet Pack, which is a collection of paintings for 200 simoleons. Not a bad price. We have this option here with darker borders, and I like the collection of paintings. Very cool. We also have a brown option, and it's a kind of medium brown, which is not too bad. You know, if it was light, it wouldn't look good, and lots of darker wooden rooms. If it was darker, it wouldn't look as good in lots of lighter wooden rooms. And then we have a completely lighter option, a kind of a creamy colour. And yeah, all of them have a range of different paintings, and they're all different, which is good. I can't even see some obvious similarity between them. I mean, you might think that they might want to reuse some of these images in different paintings over here, for example, but there seems to be unique images per option, which is cool. There's a few that are the same, like this one and that one. And there's probably more if I keep looking for them. But yeah, I think in general they look different enough that you could use them in the same house. You know, 3 different options. Yeah, I think they're quite good, and I imagine some modders will break them apart, and so you can have each individual painting on their own. And I think that would have been nice as well for Maxis to have done that. I mean, I don't want to be too critical because I'm trying to be neutral, but if you had given these all separately as well, that would have been quite cool, and you know, would have given us more options. But hey, so let's have a look at these curtains. So hopefully I choose the right one. This one, yeah, the small one, excellent. It's I don't use very many curtains in my builds. You may or may not know that. It's okay. It's very neutral, which is good. There are also a few more colourful options, which is cool. I think generally it's okay. And I would probably use it because it's not too frilly or complicated that you know, it wouldn't completely change the style of the room you're using it in, and it would probably match with quite a lot of stuff, and especially if you can get the same colour that you're using in that room. So yeah, I like it in general. A bigger one, medium, so I think that's for this one, yeah. So again, similar colours, if not exactly the same. In fact, I probably think they are the same colours, and that's good. So you can have matching colours between windows in the same room. And yeah, again, very neutral style. It's not too over the top, it's not too frilly, it's pretty neutral, and I like it. Let's leave that there. And last but not least, large throw shade. By the way, they're all okay. Yeah, they're all 200 simoleons, and similar colours, which is good. And yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And in fact, I can imagine using that more than lots of curtains that we have, because it's neutral enough in its design, and because it has relatively solid colours. Quite useful. So where are we up to? We haven't looked at these rugs. I don't think I've even actually looked at these rugs at all yet. But we have a range of different rugs. So we have this kind of looks a bit like an animal that's been squished, which is a bit gruesome. But moving on, we have this rather large ladybird, which I really like, and I definitely would use it in a kid's room. And this frog, look at that, what a cool frog. What else do we have? I've got a range of different frogs. Yeah, is it a frog or is it some kind of gecko or something like that? Probably a gecko. That might go well with some of the kids' room stuff. I think it is. It has some kind of gecko designs in it. And then we have like a turtle. I quite like that. And another turtle. And then we have a more kind of plain fur-like design. And there's a few of them. I mean, as long as they're faux fur, then that's cool. I mean, if this was taken from a dog, that's very not cool, as it wouldn't be from any animal. And yeah, there's also some more neutral colours, which I definitely like. And it's a nice neutral shape. It's going to be usable in lots of different situations. So yeah, I like that. I don't know if I saw all the colours there, but I saw quite a lot. Hang on, we've lost ordering there. So we also have a stump for treats bowl at 50 simoleons. That comes in a range of different colours. We have this kind of vanilla, we have some browns, a black, a white, purple. I like these colours. I like a lot of these different options. And I've now just lost it, that's a shame. And we have some more woody ones. I like this. When I used it in my vet clinic, the only thing I didn't kind of like is that there's no auto feeder to match all these colours. I mean, some of the auto feeders do have the same colour to match, which is good. Some of them are neutral enough that you could probably use them with any of these. But you know, I would have liked to have seen more matching between the auto feeder and the bowl. Then we have Belly cat condo at 150 simoleons. I haven't placed too many of these in my houses. I don't usually place the small one if I have got a big one, so I don't think you really need both of them, but it's good to have the options. And especially, yeah, one of them is 150, one of them is 700, so this could be quite good for a starter home, for example. Or you can just have it placed on a different floor, so there's always like a cat condo on every floor. And there are a range of colours there. The design is fine. I mean, it's pretty standard. It's the cat and dog kind of design on it isn't too overbearing. I probably would use it. So here we have the Omnomnom cat condo at 700 simoleons, and comes in a range of colours. A lot of the colours are kind of out there. I struggle to think where I'd fit them into a house, but that's because I tend to make not very wacky, colourful houses. So I'm looking for neutral options and not really finding them, but it's not bad. Especially if you like the whole theme of the pack, the whole cats and dogs everywhere, then you would like this condo, I'm sure. We also have a leaping lamp, which I've checked out. I used it a couple of times in my vet clinic speed build, and I like this. It's kind of fun. Follows the theme of the pack. Comes in a range of bright colours and also some more neutrally colours as well, just like cats and dogs do in real life. Oh, you don't see pink and red cats or dogs, but oh well. But yeah, I like it. It's definitely going to be good, especially in a kid's room. I mean, the whole pack is very kids-ish, to be honest. So we have a floor lamp here, and that's 200 simoleons. Now I've used this a couple of times in my vet clinic build, and I like it actually. It's plain enough that I think it could be used in lots of different builds. It's because it's got this kind of modern look to it that it means it doesn't necessarily need to be just for a cats and dogs lover. I like some of the colours in particular. Like even the plain white is attractive on its own. The pink, I don't usually go for pinks, but I quite like this pink. Really like this. How would you describe it? Yellowy brown. Dark brown. I used it in the vet clinic, but it's not my favourite. Light blue. Really like it. Actually, generally like this. Yep, I like that a lot. Right, so what else do we have? We have Book Fair Bear. Now this is book casing. I didn't see how much it was. It's 300 simoleons, not too bad. Looking through it, definitely looks like a kid's kind of item. It's not really for adults unless they're kind of more playful kind of adult sims. But yeah, it definitely would be good in kids' rooms. And yeah, I like it. But, you know, I don't always do a kids' room. But no, I think it's fun, and I think it's a good addition to the pack. So what else do we have? We have Fozzie Aussie toy, and that's what, 25 simoleons, which is not bad. Wish it wasn't turned to the side when I placed it. Anyway, so it's turned again. Great. It's gonna turn every time. That's not good. It makes it very hard to see it. I don't know if that's a bug. Look, it's turned again. That's so annoying. Anyway, we can catch it just for a second before it turns. There we go. Look, nice, lots of different colours. But since I can't see its face, oh, there we go. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's a little toy. It's fine. Then we have Cranimal's activity table, and I like it instantly. It's going to be good in kids' rooms, like a lot of the stuff will. Nice neutral option there, or neutral-ish. Lots of different color options. Yep, definitely nice. Let's drop that over there. So what are we missing? We're missing these Habitat for Hamsters pipes. They're kind of like wall pipes, but they're like decoration. So you have like the more horizontal options here. And I'll show you there's a range of them here with various different decorations and colors, and so you can join them up like so, and they can also branch out, so you can have like a if you take that one, or take a couple away, you can have like a connector like this. That one connects up to the horizontal next to it, and you could have like a vertical going below it and another horizontal next to it, or you could have like another connector one next to it. Keep connecting upwards, perhaps to a little kind of bubble at the top. How do I feel about it? I feel it's nice and fun, and I definitely can see it being used in kids' rooms. Otherwise, maybe not so much, but nice option for kids' rooms. I mean, the whole pack is kind of like a kids' room stuff pack, and a few kind of pet options included. So I think we've had a look at that, and that's pretty much it, apart from a collection of 4 My First Pets. And this is why the stuff pack is called My First Pet, because in this case, your first pet, or your Sim's first pet, is going to be either a hamster, a pygmy hedgehog, it's a rat, or a boobalus. And a boobalus is basically, it's one of the void critters that was in, was it Kids Room Stuff? And yeah, they've basically recreated the boobalus in real life. Well, in Sims real life. So let's have a look at these. So we have a range of different color options, and I like the range so far. Nice neutral kind of brown there. Is there like a black? They don't tend to have super black options in colourful stuff packs like this, so I don't see a black, but there's like darker browns at least, and range of different colours. So there we have it. That's pretty much it. And yeah, like I said, it compares quite well with other stuff packs in terms of build and buy content. It's very kids focused in general, although there are a few items that I would use elsewhere. Very colourful, and with this whole kind of cats and dogs theme. In fact, you know, many of the items can only be used by cats and dogs, but many of them, rugs, wall coverings, sofas, chairs, coffee tables, and lights, bookcases, they can be used by anyone. I don't love every stuff pack, but I got them all anyway, and I do love parts of every stuff pack, and I feel the same way about this stuff pack, so that's the closest to a verdict I'm going to give here. But yeah, if I hadn't got it for early access, I probably would have got it. No, I definitely would have got it anyway, because it's not really, the theme of it isn't so objectionable to me that I wouldn't have left it. I mean, there was a lot of colourful stuff going on here, which isn't always my thing, but I do appreciate it when I do finally a colourful build. So anyway, so there you go, my little build buy review for the My First Pet stuff pack. Hopefully you think I was pretty neutral. I am quite an optimistic guy though, so I do try and see the good in things, but I have tried to point out things I didn't like as I went through it. But yeah, I'm definitely not super negative about the pack, and I'm also not super positive, but I think I'm neutral to positive would probably be my final kind of verdict. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come back for another Frimlin video soon. Take care and goodbye.